Alright, so today we're going to learn how to make Tzitzit or Zitziot. I've heard it said Tzitzit. It's spelled T-Z-I-T-Z-I-T, but you probably already knew that because you got here. But if not, this is what we're making. They go on belt loops the easiest, but I've seen people take little metal clips and just hook them onto the corners of their garment. So what is this? What is it for? Why? We're going to look in our Bible first. I have the scriptures. I'm going to turn to Matthew 9. We'll start at 19. To be fair, you should probably read all of this. At some point I will on camera, but for now, we'll start at 19. And Yeshua rose and followed him, his taught ones too. And see, a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years came from behind and touched the tzitzit of his garment. For she said to herself, "If I only touch his garment, I shall be healed." But Yeshua turned, and when he saw her, he said, "Take courage, daughter, your belief has healed you." And the woman was healed from that hour. So it was something that Jesus wore. Now, was it exactly this? Probably not. But just a second this, we'll go to Matthew 14, verse 36. I think that's right. Oh, I'm wrong chapter. I'll go back to 34. 14:34. And having passed over, they came to the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized him, they sent out into all around. And when the men of that place recognized him, they sent out into all the surrounding country, and brought to him all who were sick, and begged him to let them only touch the tzitzit of his garment. And as many as touched it, they were completely healed. So, I'm not telling you that this has healing power or anything of that nature. I'm just telling you that Jesus wore them. Now, why did Jesus wear them? There's a deep purpose here. I'm going to go to Numbers 15, verse 38 to be specific, but we like our context. So 37. And Yahweh, that's God, and Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel." That's us. "Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them to make tzitzit on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue cord in the tzitzit of their corner. And it shall be to you for a tzitzit, and you shall see it, and shall remember all the commands of Yahweh, and shall do them, and not search after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you are whoring, so that you remember and shall do all my commands, and be set apart unto your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. To be your Elohim, I am Yahweh your Elohim." So, it's a command, right? It's in the Torah. It's something that God wants us to do, to be set apart, to remember his commands. Now, other than what we just saw, of there being four, and it being on the corner of your garment, and there being a blue thread in it, and throughout all your generations, right, there's really no specific way to tie them, right? I'm going to show you how to tie it this way today, or in this video, I suppose. But I have, just a moment, tied them in other ways. And to be fair, some people will even take and put beads on them, on the tail side, or, really throughout if you wanted to on the knots. But it's your decision, right? Really, the only requirement for this is that they have a blue cord. Give me just a moment to grab a drink. right. So, in order to do this, all right, I've got two different types of thread here. I've got this wax thread for making friendship bracelet made in China, right? Pretty decent stuff. As you can see, the tail likes to fray or get a little frayed. I've definitely washed this a couple times, but it holds up pretty well overall. This thing's probably been together for a year at least. And then we also have some microcord. And that's how I made these. Really, I think just about anything that would do that's small enough and durable enough to be out in the elements or be used daily. Or, I mean, you can have some Sunday drivers if you wanted, but teach their own. But today, we're going to use these 4 colors. Now, I'm only going to make one quickly with you, and then I'm going to do a time lapse of the rest, but I've already cut out my first set here. What we're looking to do, we want each string to be 38 inches. Now this says you want 6 colors or strings. To be fair, that is accurate for some of them. For this one, yeah, for what we're going to do, that would be probably best. In this case, though, I have done 8. And to be fair, the reason why is because the lady's video that we learned this off of, she does 8, so I just instinctively did 8 and forgot that we changed it to 6, because when we do this, we're basically going to braid them to get this braid here, right? And that's a lot easier with a 6 pieces of string than it is with 8, because it just breaks up easier. 2, 2, 2. And then we're going to do 4 per set, right? Because we got 4 corners or whatever. This 10, 5, 6, 5 or Yod He Vav He, the numbers correlate to the letters in Hebrew. I'm not that smart. Again, this isn't something that you have to do. Obviously, as you saw, the other one that I did kind of looks like a DNA or double helix. But regardless, to start this off, take all of our strings, do our best to line them up pretty good. Okay. All right. So at this point, we're going to find our middle. Probably 1. That's 1, 2. Yeah, probably about an inch down from the middle. We're going to take this here clipboard. We're going to braid down. Again, in this instance, this doesn't break up very evenly, but we are going to do. Oof, be careful not to just rip them out like that. It's okay. We will even everything up. Okay. 3 to that side, 3 to this side. Now we begin our braid. Alright, let's see how we look now. Not quite. Might be a little bit more than that. But I'll tell you what, typically I mess up and I will have this joker being not the same length. Look there. Still the same length. Pretty much. That's pretty good. Most of the time when I do this, it is bad. So. No. Practice makes perfect. Back to where we were. Do just a little bit more. We'll probably might have to flip it and do the other side. That will probably successfully fit a knot comfortably. So at this point, again, we'll double check. Make sure we don't have too much of an offshoot. That's typically what I get. So it's okay. It's nothing to stress about. Because I'm just going to go braid this a little bit more. And we're going to undo from the other side. So that way we gain some space. Alright, basically back to even. I'd call that a good loop right there. So now we can definitely give ourselves a knot right there. Alright, so you can see it's a little gross as far as the knot's concerned. It's not nothing to worry about. It is nothing to worry about. Just take each string, pull each one. We'll get this thing looking pretty in no time. Hey, if not, we just gonna untie it and redo it. You know? Can't never could, right? Can't never could. Yeah, we'll give it another go. If you ever tie a knot that's too tight, you're trying to get it undone. So using your teeth or just cutting it. Twist that joker up again. Most of the time, she'll let go. I'm getting a little too low, so I'll move the knot back up. There we go. Just one blank string. Maybe this one, huh? It's tough, I'll tell you what. Well, to be fair, close enough for hand grenades. It's not the worst thing. Get on with it. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Don't worry. All right, so that's like the hardest part. So we're gonna hook that just like so, and then from this point, it's really just a question of, do you want to stay with the same color pattern? Do you want to change your color pattern? Do you want to stay with the same color throughout? Again, it's your decision. The only requirements here is that you wear it and then it has a blue cord. Okay, so at this point, we're going to start with blue. Now we're going to go around 10 times. Then we're going to tie another knot. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So at this point, I've got 2 strings in my hand. We have 8 total. 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not 8. Sorry. These are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not. By the way, I'm trying to split this here. 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2 this way, and 2 that way. Okay, there. Now we're even. It was 8. Alright, now we're going to tie a knot. Oh, really, we're going to tie 2 knots. I'm just going to do a square knot, which is left over right, or it works both ways. It's supposed to be left over right, right over left, but in this case, I've done it right over left. We don't want our little bunnies hanging out like that, so I'll tighten our things. Other way. These black strings are just not my friend today. But you know, it's not the end of the world. That's the good news. Okay, when you do it though, right? So we did right over left the first time. Now our second time, we've got to go the other way. So we're doing left over right this time. Guess I'll pay just a touch more attention. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, now, if you were to choose to go ahead and to go blue again, right, there's nothing wrong with that, as said before. However, what I will say is don't use the same blue. As you can see, this line is already, this line is already starting to be way shorter. So if you're going to do blue again, you're going to pick these blues. Or if you're going to do the same color, you're going to want to get, you're probably going to make it longer than 38. By how much? I don't know. Probably go to 48, 46, somewhere in that area. But either way, I'm going to go yellow. We're going to go yellow. Go blue, yellow, black, and then white. Now this time we're going to go 5. Okay, so it's not 1, that's 1. That is 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to come up here so I can save this and not mess everything up. I did that one pretty good, but it should be, if you can see this, that one's really tight, but I'll try and spread this out. So that's our first wrap, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then from this point, we're going to make our knot. So put this back on here. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, left over right. So left over right. That looks way better too. Dang. I feel bad for those first two. That's okay. You get better as you go, obviously. And now we're going to go right over left. Okay. What did I say? Black next? Probably. Yeah. I keep grabbing like multicolor strings, like black and white. You can do that. Nobody says you can't. Okay. On to 6. First one doesn't count. This one. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And I've got 2 in my hand. 2, 4, 6. Let's get some white over here. 8. Again, we're going to go left over right, right over left. Left over right. Right over left. Okay. To our 5. Doesn't count. That's 1. There's 2. That's 3. 4. Last but not least, 5. Doing a hand. 4, 6, 8. Left to right. Right. Right over left. Oh, I see what I did. All right. So it's at this point where you could take and put on a bead or something like that. I mean, you could have been doing that at any point in here, throughout here. You know, you could incorporate it lots of different ways or fashions in between each knot. You could have put one. You know, there's a lot of ways you could do this, but me personally, I'm just gonna take and put a little knot here, full knot. Missing one. Dang it! Oh, I'm missing a couple. It's rough stuff, yo. See if we can get this joker in here. Oh, those blues are getting close. Okay, we're gonna back off of this just for a second. I think I got a lot in the wrong space. Excuse me. Okay. Try our method from earlier with our twisted tie. I think we got everything. Okay, we've gone too far, but that's okay. I'm just gonna push down. Or not. Come on, buddy, let it go. I see you though. I see you. There you are. Okay. Now, who's who? It's one. There we go, nice. Something I find doing, probably not regularly, but more often than not, I'll find myself playing with these, and you probably want to, especially after you wash them, you definitely notice it more after you wash them. Definitely going to want to try and tighten up your knot right here. I don't think it's detrimental if it's not, you know, uber duper tight. And I mean, you know, if you want to, you can even take super glue or something and just put like a little dab right there, lock it in place, be good to go. But it's, you know, again, as always, to each their own. You know, no requirements here. If you didn't want to cut any of these, you don't have to cut any of these, but I like mine to be a little bit more trim, but I'm not going to take and cut them all to that point. Right, I've got one up here, so I like that. like that distance. And now that I've made this one this distance, right, I'll try and make the rest of them the same. So when I make the other 3, I'll try and cut them the same length as this. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. We're already 36 minutes in, so I'll just leave it at this. And yeah, I love you guys. Thanks.